Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Mandragon's Cave. Today we are gonna be drawing Inktober52 and the prompt is train. There are different connotations of the word train. You can draw a train as such, you know, the vehicle, or you can do something like you are training, like Dragon Ball, something like this. Today I decided I wanted to do a proper train, but as you have seen in the miniature, it's gonna be some sort of transformer train, okay? I love trains, I love transformers. For this video, for this train, I'm gonna be using most probably the Hogwarts Express. And I wanna do just some, oops, I need to do again this. Just wanna do some basic lines first, like to make a puppet, because if you have seen Transformers, the movies, okay, or the comics, or the toys, you know they are very blocky. You have different types of Transformers, and recently as well, the animal type of Transformer as well, very cool, very engaging in character design and everything. But for the train, I think, yeah, I fancy doing something similar, but using the concept of the train, okay? So I think more or less, if I can do a basic shape like this. I want to do a static base first, like cylinders, because we are working with the train. And the train, the Hogwarts Express, is an old steam train, okay? So it's like gonna be like a mecha type of robot, okay? So mecha in Japanese is the term that they used for this type of robots, the giant robots, okay? So Transformers originally it comes from a Japanese toy company called Takara Tomy, and after that Hasbro as well took over and done many projects with Transformers. But the concept of the toys come first. There is no comics, movies, etc., if we hadn't had the toys before. There are other TV shows that happens the same, and sometimes, you know, the West, the American side of superheroes and type of series like this, and the Asian side of manga and animation and things like this as well, they would kind of exchange some ideas, and we will have this kind of fantastic series like Transformers, or as well Power Rangers and things like this. Spider-Man as well was moved from one side to the other side, and from Spider-Man then you had the Power Rangers. They kind of diluted the concept of Spider-Man to become with Power Rangers as well. There is a lot of kind of, you know, toys and series lore in this regarding both sides of the world. Very interesting. I love it. But just so you know, if you didn't know this kind of interesting thing, the Transformers are not from a comic, they are not from a movie, they originally was a toy, and from the toys they made all the subsequent stories and everything, okay? So I don't want to do an aggressive kind of Transformer. I want to do something more like comic, like I always do, cartoony, like I always do, and you guys already know that I love Harry Potter. That's why I'm kind of picking this train as well. And the Transformer movies, for example, I love them, but now they have become for me a little bit repetitive, okay? So the last one, it wasn't that interesting with the animals and everything. It's very cool visually, it's very nicely done. The transformations, so the rigging in an animation pipeline, in an animation project, the rigger is the person who puts, let's say, this kind of skeleton to the puppet, to the animated, to be able to animate it. And all these moving pieces, and when the faces are moving and everything, that's all the rigger. That the rigger is creating these tools and these skeletons for the animator to be able to move the character and to animate it in that way, okay? And I love the transformation, so the riggers in those movies must be super experts in kind of applying these kind of mecha constructions. So from actually the transformation from a car to a or a vehicle, a motorcycle, a van, it becomes the robot, okay, so the mecha, and it is very nice for me. And for this one, I think as well, I want to do some kind of similar to the Tekken character. I don't know if you played Tekken, the video game, pseudo-wudo, that is kind of blocks of wood, okay, and that pseudo-wudo as well can adapt to similar, to copy techniques from other characters. So kind of I'm gonna be merging here things that I like, things that I love to do the prompt for today, train, okay. So I was thinking as well to do a train from The Boys. I love The Boys series, but I don't want to talk about The Boys drawing a train, because I don't think he is the main character. He has no main plot in the story. Even if you had Huey becoming what he becomes because of A Train's actions and everything, I would have preferred maybe to draw Butcher or to draw, one of the other bad guys for me. But for now, I think with the Harry Potter and the Transformers mix, I think we can do something very interesting. So later, here I'm going to be drawing the Hogwarts Express. We are going to be putting here as well the kind of the code, and the number is like 59, 72, something like that. And I'm kind of going to be modifying this as I go. So I want to see, because all of this is going to be very cartoony, as you know, okay? So this is going to be like that. This is the chimney on the top. But the face I want to do it Transformer face, like the toys, okay? So don't think about hyper-realistic Transformers like in the movies with Shia LaBeouf and everything, that he has a splendid, spectacular role in that movie. Just think about this more like a cartoony toy version of the story. And there is actually, I think, a new movie that is being released around September, October, and it's called Transformers 1. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it so bad, but I believe it comes a little bit from the original Transformers being called Transformers Generation 1. I think they wanted to do this revamp for the story, to change the style, to change everything, to have something more superhero and toy related. That I love it, okay? I love it. There is this concept of toys and movies, or toys and series. I love it because it reminds me when I was a kid. There is this movie from 1998 called Small Soldiers, and in this movie you have a group of toys, the good guys and the bad guys. The good guys are kind of monsters. They are called the Gorgonites. And then you have the bad guys, that they are commandos. They are military people, and they are called the Elite Commando, or something like that. So these toys become alive in the story because one of the guys kind of trying to sell the toys to a company, for the advertising company and everything. He steals a military microchip and implants the microchip into the toys. So all of them awaken, and they have their own roles within the story, like the real story in their lore. And they start fighting and everything. It's a very epic movie. I love it. I recommend you to watch it if you like fantasy movie and all the style looking movie, because 1998, now we are in 2024, so it is already a little bit old for someone who's watching movies nowadays with all these effects and everything. This is kind of basically puppets and some effects, but basically puppets. And you have in this movie young Alan Abernathy, I think it was called, the guy, and this is a teenager that is trying to help the Gorgonites to escape and is trying to protect them from the bad guys, basically. Regarding to the actual movies, you're just gonna move this a little bit. Regarding to the actual movies that we have in the Transformers saga, let's say. I love Shia LaBeouf in the performance that he's selling us as a guy who finds this Bumblebee Transformer and is driving around and is befriending him, and then Bumblebee, you know, the yellow Transformer is kind of protecting him and saving him and everything. I love how he represents the character and how the surprise, the novelty, when you have, imagine if you are in that situation that you find something this weird from another world, because in theory these Transformers come from another world. Okay, the world of the Transformers was destroyed and some of them escaped and they landed in Earth. Okay. In the lore, in the story. So basically, you have all of these things, very, very nice. And Shia LaBeouf, I love how he's interacting with the characters and how the performance that he does with the combination with the CGI. The CGI are basically the computer-generated imagery, so the things that are created by computer. He does it really nice. There are some movies that you see the main character, the person, interacting with something fake made by computer, and it doesn't fit. It doesn't feel like it is interesting. But for me, his performance is spectacular there, and I love it. So Shia LaBeouf, if at some point you happen to find this video or something, congratulations on that. It's a shame. I think you are not more in the movies. You are not in the movies anymore. You move to another thing. It's normal in the life of an actor to jump to another project and not be stuck into the same role forever, and I loved it. I loved it. Those movies with your role was very, very nice, very, very nice. So basically, you know, comparing with all these things about toys and everything and trains, the Harry Potter, I'm choosing the Harry Potter train, and I'm kind of, as you can see here, I'm actually doing already like, these are gonna be like big boots, like transformery boots. Maybe when we do the lines, we will make it a little bit like mechanical, you know, like I know it is not mechanical. This is a vapor, steam train, but you know, I'm kind of making the mechanical parts here. Basically, this Harry Potter train, the Hogwarts Express, it is. It takes reference from a train that exists in real life called the Jacobite steam train, and it travels in Scotland, and is one of the things that I have in my bucket list because it's very beautiful, it is very magical, it is very like in the movie. It has like carriages that you can go into these kind of compartments like in Harry Potter movie and stay there and everything. It must be amazing to go in that train, and it makes it really realistic and very real. At the moment, I'm rereading the Harry Potter saga. I started on the 1st of September because you know, it's Harry Potter time, so I need to be Harry Potting around. So I basically decided to start when Harry Potter is going to Hogwarts on the 1st of September. That is the important date. Started reading the first book, I think in 1 or 2 days. Without a rush, but in 1 or 2 days I read the first one, and then like a couple of days more the second one, the third one. At the moment I'm on the 5th one, more or less, almost at the end, where you have all the story with Umbridge, and then you have as well Firenze. You have the Centaur is arriving into Hogwarts to replace Trelawney, the divination teacher, as teacher. You know, Dumbledore is kind of talking to Umbridge, saying, "Hey, you can sack her if you want, you can sack Trelawney if you want, but I'm gonna be keeping her here because I can, and I will appoint another teacher for the school." And we're having this. I'm at that point at the moment, so I'm all full on Harry Potter. So I said, when I just read the prompt train, I thought, yeah, I need to do the Hogwarts Express for the train. I can't pick another train. So I had different options, different decisions, I said, but I had to pick this one. So there's the hand here. I'm gonna do like a massive wand that is gonna be like a stick. We'll do some magic here around in a bit. But basically, I think I have like kind of some sort of a base here with all of these things. I want to make as well this It has these stoppers there, so when they reach at the end of the rail, they can touch the wood and stop the train. That is swift, slow. Okay. And so this funny thing. When I arrived to the UK to stay and live here and everything, the first time I came here, it was very interesting for me because you fly into the country and then you need to take the train to go to whichever town you're gonna have to go. And funnily enough, I bought my ticket, everything, and I go into the train that was marked for me there, and I don't know if I went into the correct train or no, because at that point I didn't know anything about much about the language, much about how to move around and things like this. But I I end up going into this beautiful train, looking like the Hogwarts Express, like old steam train. I don't know how I done that, but I went into this train. I just see a green wagon there, and it's pointing the direction I want to go. I just jump in, sit there. Everything was beautiful. Everything was wood. It has kind of nice decorations inside, and I said, this is very weird. I didn't think, in UK we were living in older times. I thought the trains were like modern trains and everything, but yeah, whatever. I mean, I'm just gonna take the train. I'm gonna go to my destination, and that's it. So my actually first ride on the train here in the UK was going into one of these trains that I don't know which one was it. There is another one. Another similar looking, like the Jacobite train looking here, but I don't remember the name. I don't know the name. Maybe I boarded that one by mistake, and I kind of used my normal ticket to go into that one. That most probably and obviously it would have been much more expensive. But I was, at that time, very rookie about moving around the world and everything, and I just went on with whatever I could find, and it's okay. But it was a very nice experience, and you could see, like in the Harry Potter, imagine those individual carriages or these wide corridors with very old seats, like looking like sofas, with this kind of fabric and everything on top of them, and there was compartments like with ropes to put your luggage on top and everything, and I was like mesmerized, like, are you actually for real? I love Harry Potter, and it is for real that I'm just coming into this train, and it's leaving me, because it took me to my destination and everything. I don't know what's going on. So I didn't know what was going on at that point, but I just went with the flow, and it ended up nice. So I ended up arriving where I wanted to arrive, and that is something, like a story that I have there for me, like to tell in occasions, like oh, by the way, this happened, and it was so weird. Let's make some, like, these are gonna be the bottom here, the bottom parts and everything, because they have these boots and there are plenty of things going on here at the same time. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit weird like this, okay? And obviously it's working with the steam. If there's no energy, it can't actually move. Something like this works for me fantastic, so I'm just gonna jump into, I'm just gonna see if I'm focused in the middle. I'm in the middle, just move it a little bit. Okay. And let's pick up here, nice, I have here my small bag of, a couple of pens, a couple of pencils. I always have it like this handy, and yeah, I'm going to be using 0.1. This is the Unipin Fine Liner. I normally use it for my videos. It's very nice. I have plenty of this, and it's always nice to use it. So let's do a little bit of the line work, I would say. Okay. So with the whole concept of trains, I'm talking a little bit about, Harry Potter, how much I love Harry Potter. Talking a little bit about Transformers and how much I love Transformers as well, and from where the Transformers come. There are many people out there that had no idea what came first, the chicken or the egg. like the Transformers movie or the Transformers comics or the Transformers toys. There are plenty of things like that when you think about it, and you can feel free as well to ask if you don't know, if you're not sure about something specific, or when you were a kid you had this kind of toy or something, or there's a movie that you like, oh, is this from a comic, is this, and just if I know, I will help and I will try to answer the question and everything, okay? But just so you know, I love trains, and it was very funny for me to live that experience with this kind of old style train, and kind of resembling to Harry Potter. There is this book by Joseph Campbell that is explaining the hero's journey, how all the stories with the heroes, like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, etc., etc., etc. So you have the hero is like a wheel, okay, and there is like 12 steps, and in these 12 steps, the hero, the person, the main character realizes that everything is good, and at some point he starts to realize that some things needs to change, and he will have the call for adventure, and after the call for adventure you will have you will need to cross the threshold, and in this crossing of the threshold, after that you go already into, let's say in this example, into this fantasy world, okay? So you go from the normal world to the fantasy world, you have some trials, some problems that you end up being able to overcome at the end, and then you end up coming back to the real world and having like some sort of a status quo again, and that circle can go on and on and on and on as many times as you want. So this is a beautiful example that we have with J.K. Rowling by doing this this is gonna be the logo of Hogwarts there. By doing this story, Harry Potter, I don't know if she used this formula, but I can say that she drank from this formula 100% for sure, because if you realize what's happening with Harry Potter is here on the top of the circle with the status quo, and then he has a call for adventure, something happens, the wizards show up, Hagrid show up and everything, and then start seeing magic, something which is going on that is not normal, I don't know what's going on, and after that, crossing the threshold, in this aspect, Rowling does it quite literally. Harry needs to cross in platform 9 3/4 in King's Cross to this train, and then going into the train is crossing. It's kind of making a full a scene of crossing the threshold, and heading into Hogwarts. And in Hogwarts, you're already in the magical world. And what happens in the movies that you go? Let's do Hogwarts Express. What happens in the movies? That in the movies you go, okay, you go into the castle, you start the lessons, you start doing magic life, learning everything, you have Voldemort, and etc., etc., and all of these things, those are the trials, the tests that you need to pass, the adventure that you need to have, the plot of the story, the main body of the story, basically, and after this, you go into the final fight of the enemy, you defeat the enemy, and what happens again? That the academic year finishes, and then Harry goes again, crossing the threshold again, into the train, returns to the normal world, to the status quo. He's living with the family, that it's a pain, the Dursleys are a pain, but he returns to his status quo at that point, like where everything is normal. Everything is normal as it is, and then summer passes, and then second book, second movie, second year, again, boom, something weird starts happening, I can't do this, Dobby shows up, the magic is doing this, the brothers show up, more magic comes up, again, we are doing the full circle, and start crossing the threshold, the train, going into Hogwarts, doing all these trials, all these tests, defeating the bad guy, coming back, boom, and another circle. So it's a formula that if you see in the movies in general, it works perfectly. So I kind of can give you this funny exercise, or homework, if you want to call it homework. Go into your likes what do you like the most? What do you like to see the most and everything? Like one favorite movie of adventure, let's say. You like Lord of the Rings? See what happens with Frodo, the main character. The Frodo is in his status quo at home, and then we have this kind of magical being, the guy that shows up, that is Gandalf, has magical powers with a ring from the uncle, more magical powers, and then how Frodo is deciding to crossing the threshold there, that is basically leaving his home, literally again going outside of his house to go into the unknown, into the wilderness with, Sam and the other guys afterwards, and joining the rest of the fellowship later. Tribulation, problems, all of these things, adventuring on the world, passing the tests, until at the very end as well, he returns again to the Shire, everything is normal, he lives some time there. This is not very nicely explained in the movies, what happened with the hobbits afterwards and everything, but the hobbits, they keep moving around after the whole story and everything in the books. Frodo goes back home, Sam goes back home, and at some point Frodo needs to leave because he's been quite corrupted and touched by the power of Sauron, and he decides to leave with Gandalf and Galadriel and the rest of the elves to the land of the elves, the never-ending, basically is the never dying land there, okay, on the Grey Pots and everything. So it is very nice, and if you think about it, we are surrounded by this kind of structure in the world. In the world of animation, in the world of movies, live action and everything, and here in the channel, half of my videos, half of the things that we talk here are One Piece, and the other half are videos more in general about general things with the Inktober, okay, with the Inktober challenge. Today we are doing Inktober challenge, as I said at the beginning, and we are drawing a train, but turning a little bit upside down the concept of train and kind of playing in this fantasy world that I like so much, in this kind of doing a mix, basically doing a mix. So in One Piece, that we always talk about One Piece here, we have basically the same concept. We have the Luffy. The main character is going into the unknown, and his crossing the threshold is going into the sea. His call to adventure before crossing the threshold is, ooh, I get magic powers from this magic fruit, and now I'm able to do this and that, and stretch and do that and that. Oh, something new. So until that, he was at home, training and everything with the brothers, but, so things like this are a recurring resource that you will see in all the movies, and as I said, I challenge you to pick whichever movie you want and see how the main character first is good, is okay, is in a status quo, let's say 300, the movie 300 with the whole Spartan movies and everything. As well, it's more like a kind of that one comes from a comic, but as well is the same concept. You have these guys that there were. And the comic is made from the story, from the myth of the Thermopylae and everything. But basically there you have as well the same concept of the story. They are good at home, fighting, doing their own thing, and then, boom, Gergis, they come, they want to fight, they want to do some things, they need to cross the threshold again, they have to leave their place and start their adventure and hold the fort, let's say, for the fights and for everything to happen and to be able to defend their land and everything. But again, all like Odysseus, the Iliad and everything, so Dante's Inferno, even the Dracula, Bram Stoker Dracula follows this pattern. So in Joseph Campbell's book, it is a very nice explanation of these basic steps that you can stretch more. In some movies you can have 12 like a clock, or you can have 8 steps, or you can have 6 steps, but more or less they kind of follow the same pattern. And for me, as a storyteller, as someone who writes, draws comics, and kind of illustrates images to kind of represent and to show things to everyone, I find it very... for me, it's a topic that it interests me a lot, okay? I love it, and I can't wait to see, for example, the extras of the movies, or the details from the directors and everything, and how everything is done. And for me, I love it. We just got a little cut there, sorry about that. I was talking, and I didn't realize I had to continue recording more. Basically, what I was saying before we had the cut is that I was gonna jump into color and everything, and I was using this Big Evolution brand, and I basically found these colors in a stationery shop, okay, and I had this bought this box of 12 colors more or less, as you can see here, and these colors were I think like around £2, something like that. I pay for that. It's like kids colors. That sometimes when you are kind of drawing something, you have your nice quality colors and everything, but sometimes you just have like very basic and cheap things as well around, and there's no problem with that. Don't marry with a specific brand that is so expensive or something. You just try to do your own thing with the materials that you can afford, that you can find as well, and don't worry too much about anything else like the paper. I started drawing with you know, school material as well, and I still do it, and sometimes, you know, paper from the printer or cardboard boxes and everything. There is this studio that I love. They've done Madagascar, they've done Spirit, Prince of Egypt, Hotel Transylvania, the characters for those guys, called Grangel Studio. And Grangel Studio in Barcelona, these guys draw like this in all type of paper, in all type of cardboards, traditional drawings, and you can see all those characters that you love from all these movies, DreamWorks, Amblin, you know, from many places, they have drawn it like that. So don't kind of be thinking about, oh, I'm limited because I don't have material, or because I don't have expensive material, because if you think about it, all of these things work perfectly for what you need, and you don't have to worry too much about it, okay? So it's just kind of a disclaimer there, like, hey, be mindful of this, that you don't need the best of the best of the best things to be able to work, okay? Like this is more than enough, and yeah, obviously with more time you can do more type of drawings, better type of drawings. Now we are a little bit limited because I don't want to do a 3 hours video. And I could at some point, if I decide to do some streaming or something like this, I could just basically start by doing a full talk while I draw in a slow pace. Like normally I draw a slow pace. Here I'm kind of talking and drawing. Normally when I'm drawing, I'm in silence or listening music that inspires me, and but for this I like to, it is interesting as well for me, like to do this switch of type of drawing, talking while I draw. I explained at the beginning of my videos, at the beginning of the channel, that I never done this before. This is my first year being here on YouTube and sharing my drawings and talking and explaining things that I know or things that I've seen while we have the recording going on, the drawing going on, the talk going on and everything. And sometimes it's more challenging than other times, but I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm enjoying it like a kid. So thanks to everyone that is there watching the video or watching the drawing or watching the theories I'm doing normally, and I very much appreciate it, okay? So we were talking about Harry Potter, we were talking about trains, we were talking about Transformers, we were talking a little bit about you know, culture in the concept of toys and miniatures. I love miniatures. I'm in love with miniatures. I'm in love with trains in miniature, with houses in miniature, with toys in miniature. We recently went to a shop to buy some Christmas decoration and everything, because, you know, Christmas is around the corner and everything. We started decorating already here, and we saw a full miniature town with, you know, houses, carousels, like there is a fair, there is like, you know, the train is around, several trains going around and everything. I love it. It's one of my weaknesses. If you don't know what to buy me as a present, just buy me a miniature something, and I will be thankful for that, because I love it. I have here from all the things that I like One Piece, Tales of Alethion, Lord Olympus, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings. I have miniatures. I have plenty of things of everything, and it is something that when I have more space, I would have more. I will have more, and it can be very nice, very funny to see a house decorated like that. Sometimes we had people coming, some friends coming home, and they said, "Oh my God, this house is so magic. You have so many things in each corner. You have this going on, or that going on, or these mouses are doing this, or these animals are doing that." And for me, I do storytelling. I create worlds, I create characters, I create stories, fantasy basically. But I live in them as well. I enjoy it very much, and this is something that I make around me because it's very beautiful. For example, the maquette in the movie Beetlejuice, that there is a new Beetlejuice coming out soon, or it's been released now recently for Halloween, but I haven't watched it yet. The maquette in Beetlejuice is wonderful. It's wonderful with the whole city there. There are things going on there. You have the how is it called? The train, the car, the houses with the lights in and everything, and you have Beetlejuice, the character is going up and down. Let's see if with this gray or with this one we will see. This one is better. And you have the guy that is able to kind of move through time and space there, because he's kind of going into this kind of mini world and coming out and coming in again, and I love it. That is one of those things that if I had space, if I had physical space to create something like that, it would be amazing. I saw online the other day a guy who actually outside his home he made a full recreation of an ancient town, like a fantasy medieval town, and that is incredible. Even if you, let's say you sell the house that's in your garden, build with real materials, building materials, that's pumping the price of your house just for doing that. It is incredible, and I love it. I am not gonna do something like that because I am not that skilled in construction, I would say, but it is something very beautiful. You can check it online. I don't remember the name, but if you put miniature medieval city in the garden, probably you see the guy and how he's making it and everything. Very nice. So this kind of Christmas trees, this is one of those my little dreams that I have, no? That maybe having a massive Christmas tree and having a train going around, be at the bottom, be on the top, be in the middle, like sometimes you see in the movies, or sometimes you see in a series or in a Christmas thingy, and I love it. And so something that at some point I will definitely get. And it's like when you go into these fantasy movies and there are toy shops. When I was a kid, I always said, oh my God, I hope I get locked in here. Someone forgets I'm here, everyone forgets I'm here, and I stay here in the shop to play with all the toys and everything. And now that I'm older, I still think that, and it will be so cool. These magic shops, like you know, the shop in Harry Potter as well, and you have all these things going on, or in the Christmas movies, especially in the Christmas movies, when you have all the how you call it, the Christmas decorations going on, but sometimes they are kind of alive. I'm gonna jump into 04 just to do a little bit of a second line, and I think we're done. Okay, so I love it when they have the trains as well, that on top of the toy shop you have the train, and there's a lot of old school type of toys and wood toys, tin toys as well, and I love it. And that is one of those things that I remember visiting France. Where did I go? I went to... Where was the place I went that it was so nice and it had this very beautiful toy shop? well, I don't remember. It will come to me at some point. If not, I will put it in the comments later. I went to on this trip and just wandering around the places. I don't want to define the text. I just want to kind of scribble here something like so we understand there's something going on there. I was just wandering around. I was doing some time so I could go already to my train to go to the station. It was very late already, so I couldn't actually do any kind of activity, and I was just walking around where the train stop was, and I could find this kind of toy store. Beautiful. It had plenty of drawings. I ended up buying a couple of things there, and I hope I go back because it was very interesting, very beautiful, and I love it. It was so magical. It was like going in, like stepping, to be honest, stepping into a movie. Stepping into a movie with the whole concept of toys that the guy had there, the old man. It actually was like an old man as well, like in a movie and everything. Like anytime something magical is gonna happen, the toys are gonna come into life or something. And yeah, I love that. I love that. If I could, I would open a toy shop, like a magical toy shop. And yeah, if you have any recommendations, I've seen a couple of movies like this, like there are magic toy shops and things like this. But if you have recommendations, something that you like and I may not know, just feel free to drop it in the comments and I will watch it because I like it so much. Let's do this. We're almost done, okay? Just for a small recap of what we have been talking today. I've been saying some opinions I have about things that I like Harry Potter, Transformers, toys, and trains in this concept. We have the train as well here. That we are doing the train. Been talking a little bit about movies, animation, storytelling, process in storytelling, and how to create the hero's journey as well. Maybe one day I do a video full on a specific doing hero's journey and a specific talking about the book that I was mentioning before from Joseph Campbell. Yeah. So this is gonna be the video for today. Okay, for the Inktober52 prompt train. We are almost done with Inktober52. I will be finishing the year with the Inktober52, and after that I will jump into replacing the Inktober52 videos with something else. I want to talk about, let's say, trains. I will talk only about trains in that video. I want to talk about Transformers. I will talk only about Transformers. I want to talk about Arcane, the series that has just been released now in Netflix, the second season. I will talk about Arcane. I don't need to limit myself to the challenge for a second year because it's been a very long year having to draw about a specific thing, and sometimes I would have wanted to draw something else, I would say, okay? But for now, let's sign. This is DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23, you can say it as you want, and this is the Mandragon's Cave. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you liked the drawing. It was something different for today, this mecha, and yeah, I hope you like, subscribe, comment, write some recommendations, and yeah, open discussion in the comment section so we can talk and talk a little bit about the video for today. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.